I'm like, Paul, how do you manage like 500 people? Like I've got 2 guys on my crew, and they're sucking every ounce of energy out of me, right? Like they're driving me bananas. I've got 2 guys. And he looks at me and he's just shaking his head. He goes, is that how you understand the business? Like you think that I manage 500 people? He says, man, you understand the business incorrectly. That is not what I do. He says, I have to manage and motivate 1 guy. And that 1 guy is Paul Goudreau. And he says, my goal is to, when I put my head on my pillow, I want to get a good night's sleep. I don't want to be ridden with guilt. I don't want to be tossing and turning because I've got people on my team that are just a chip off the old block. They've got all these bad habits because they found these bad habits in me, and they're not succeeding because of me. I don't want that kind of guilt. I want to put my head on my pillow knowing that I can sleep easy, I get a good 8-hour sleep. Then if there are people on my team that choose to do the opposite of what they see from me, and they're not successful because they're doing it different or the opposite of, well, I don't have any guilt. That's on them. That's not on me. But I'll feel guilty if they're a mirror of me. And so that really helped me a ton, because then when I'm back with my other 2 guys, I'm like, well, let me be the model for these guys. And if they choose to follow my example, great. If they choose not to, great. It's on them. And I stopped focusing really on their development and what they need, and just focused on being a better example myself. I'll dress a little sharper. I'll show up a little earlier. I'll read more books. I'll get more one-on-ones and just kind of model what being a successful player in the business looks like. And that made the world a difference. That's been kind of my go-to ever since. Like, I mean, I don't have to focus on developing you. You're doing just fine on your own, right? But what I can do is I can focus on being a better man myself. I could be an example of being a good husband, being a good father, being a good, selfless business owner, charitable giver in my community. I mean, I can focus just on being a great example for the young owners like yourself. And if you choose to follow that example, great. If you choose not to follow that example, great. But that's the best way that I can develop people, is by really being a role model. I mean, people, you'll know this when anybody parents here? Any of you guys parents yet? Okay, so when it happens, so your children they don't learn with their ears, unfortunately. They don't learn with their ears. Blah, 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 whatever, Dad. They learn with their eyes. Okay, so that's how kids learn. So whatever they see you doing is what they'll do. They don't care to be told anything. So, I take that seriously. I'm like, oh, so kids learn with their eyes. So if I really want my children to grow up as successful spouses, like I want my daughters to be great wives and I want my son to be a great husband, well, I want to model what being a great husband looks like for them. I want them to see me hug mama in the kitchen and give her a kiss and like be affectionate with her and serve her. And I'm hoping we'll see how it plays out, because it's going to be on them once they leave the house. All I know is if they suck as spouses, well, you didn't see that from me. I don't know where you learned that from, but it wasn't me. You saw how I treated your mom. Now, if they do say something, because I know I'm not perfect, but they may say, well, Dad, I'm like, oh, really? Yeah, I was a bad example. I don't know what that is, but I know I'm not perfect, but I try hard to be a good role model, and that's the best way kids learn, and that's the best way adults learn too, is you learn with your eyes.